No? Who didn't put B for this? So, Chloe, can you explain why it's B?
Okay, it's B because all the other answers are more, like, what's the word? Like, precise. Does that make sense? Like, there are really distinct borders, but the South doesn't really have distinct borders. It's just like kind of a label that we put on a bunch of different, like just a general area.
Right, exactly. It would be saying, like, if this is the United States, this is a line, this is the South, and this is not. This is not the South, but this is. And we can't really, there's no place that we can actually identify where there's a line to say, oh, I'm in the South right now versus I'm not. It's kind of fuzzy. Yeah?
The one like that I had to really choose between was E, because I don't know what the Mason-Dixon line is, and it says Dixie, so that confused me.
Okay, so Mason-Dixon line is like a historical line where the Confederate, like that separated the North from the South during the Civil War era, and so this would have been hard because it's like this is the Mason-Dixon line, 10 miles up and 10 miles south, but that's still creating this clear boundary.
Right.
After 10 miles, you're no longer in the South. So this is the one that most people would get confused with. Okay. Number 2. Go ahead, Paula.
A religion founded on the principle of polytheism is, I said Hinduism, and I said Hinduism because a lot of other religions are monotheistic, like Christianity only has one God, and so does Islam, but I know that Hinduism has a lot of different gods. So,
Great. Yeah, that's the only one on the list that actually is polytheistic. Okay.
Is B an actual religion?
I didn't choose it. I didn't know what it was.
Well, we know, if you know that, see, this is a test-taking strategy. So we know here, from what we learned on Friday, that Hinduism is polytheistic. So even if you don't know one of the other religions, you know still that the answer is E. It doesn't change your mind if you've never heard of A, B, C, and D. If you know that E is polytheistic, don't let the other ones that you haven't heard of confuse you. Okay? Alright, so number 3. Who's got number 3? Sorry. I landed on you. Go ahead.
Really? Religious and belief system in which items in nature such as animals, trees, or mountains can have spiritual value or being can be classified as, I put animism. And personally, I really didn't know it personally what any of these were. So I think tribe was talking about tribes or whatever, but it had nothing to do with that to me, so I chose that.
And we talked about A on Friday. So this is a classic example of what we talked about last time, or on the question before. If you don't know the other ones, but you remember that we learned about animism, that it means that animals and trees and other inanimate objects can have spirits and souls, then you know that the answer is A.
I guess, I really think guess. I see you say animals, so that's what I chose.
Okay, so yeah, like using context clues, animism, animals are important. Yeah?
I wasn't here on Friday, so I guessed and I still got it right. But I thought that it could also be tribalism, because tribalism, well, just the word tribe, to me means that they use a lot of resources from nature and animals a lot.
Yeah.
So
This is the one that would be thrown in to confuse you.
Yeah.
So that's something that since you weren't here, it would be difficult for you to know, but good job taking an educated guess.
But
Yeah,
on the AP exam, will we have 5? Will be 5?
Yes. 5 answers. All right, number 4. Pen's gonna pick someone. Chloe, go ahead.
6. Go ahead. Okay. The identity of
Mestizos. So this is one where we haven't really gone thoroughly over this yet. So mestizos in Latin America. So let's think for a second. This is one that we need to think about each answer. So in Latin America, what do we, like, are most people African and European in Latin America? From what we know about it.
For sure. Okay, so, well, I said,
Do you think that you know this one, or are you not sure about it?
I think I might know it
Okay.
because because I didn't think that there would be a lot of Africans in Latin America, but I did know that they were Europeans because they kind of like invaded. So that meant that I could cross out E and E and then A, so we're going to go Africans.
Mm-hmm.
So then I had to choose between C and D, and I chose D because I knew that there were Native Americans. Is that right?
Yep, that's correct.
Okay.
That's exactly right. So there are Africans in Latin America. There's a whole Afro-Caribbean ethnic group that is very present, but the term mestizo means a mixed culture, specifically of native or indigenous groups with Europeans. So good job using process of elimination for that. Why didn't you pick C?
Because I weren't Asian.
Yeah, because we don't see a whole lot of Asian heritage in Latin America. Yeah, Anthony's gonna do number 5. Jake, is that what you're gonna ask too?
Oh, no.
No, I said Jamaica. I said Jamaica. Is that
Oh,
what you're gonna ask? Okay, go ahead, Anthony.
Following our branches, divisions of denominations of Islam, I chose E, because Hinduism is a religion itself, and I know the 2 main denominations of Islam is Sunni and Shiites.
Mhm.
So I crossed these 2 out, and I knew it was E.
Mhm. Great. So that's really good using what you already know and not getting distracted by the other answers that maybe you weren't sure about. So Sufism is another sect of Islam that we haven't really talked about in depth yet because we've been focusing on the main 2. Quranism. How would you know that this is a denomination of Islam? Halsey?
The root word is Quran.
Mm-hmm. And what is the Quran?
Their
Their holy book, right? Bible refers to Christianity. Their holy book. Good. All right. You want to do number 6? You have a question.
It's a question.
Okay, go ahead.
These that we do, how we going to
Yeah, we'll talk about that.
Yes,
6. Make sure that you're correcting them as we go. I see a lot of people out of it.
Jerusalem is considered a holy place for all religions except, and I think I put it D because isn't it Protestantism? Is that like Christian? Yeah, and I know they used to. I know they used to go to Jerusalem. Yeah, they're on the place of Jerusalem and Judaism. Then I got confused with C and D because Islam like it's not a religion, so Muslim is a religion. So I just put D.
Good. Animism is correct.
Oh, and because we know that they like the animals.
Mm-hmm. So, important distinction. Islam is the name of the religion of Islam. People in Jamaica who follow Islam are called Muslims. So, like, just like Christianity is the religion, what are the followers called? Christians. So, what's the name of the religion? Islam or Muslim? Islam. And then what are the followers called? Muslims. Jamaica, do you understand that? Okay. All right, last one. I'll take a volunteer before the pen hits. Go ahead, Amos. Thanks.
The growing cultures out in and around the Caribbean and Gulf of Mexico is a mix of the following influences. And I chose sheep. Because chose C because I guess based on prior knowledge, I knew that the Europeans brought slaves from Africa to Caribbeans and Native Americans who are already there, and Europeans were there. So everybody, yeah.
C is correct. C is correct. Good job. Good. Okay, so are there any last questions about these 7 multiple choice practice? No? Okay, great. So write down how many you got correct the first time on the top of your paper. This is going to stay in your binder, and we'll refer to this, like it'll help you study, and we'll come back to it. But right now, please flip your page over to the next side. Flip your page over to the next side. I need every single person should have a 4-level math analysis. Okay, great. So we're going to do this 4-level math analysis. We're going to do the first one together, and then you guys are going to finish the last 3 boxes at your tables. So if we look at the first box, it says what? And so I would think to myself, all right, what is this map trying to show me? And I would use my clues from this map to try to give me that answer. So luckily this map has a title. So in the what section, I would write down Catholics in the U.S. Catholics in the USA. So if we look at this key here, someone raise your hand. What color represents more Catholics? Chloe?
The dark is one at the top, because it's more than 50%.
Right. And so the places with the dark colors, exactly like Chloe said, have more Catholics than the other places. So go ahead with the people at your table for the next 5 minutes and try to answer the questions in the next 3 boxes. We'll go over it afterwards. Just write down what you know already, and then we'll kind of fill in some extra information. So for the where, guys, that means where is the most data or the least. So where are the most Catholics, where are the least, where are the extremes? That's what that box is asking you.
Okay, is it
Most and yeah, just those.
Isn't that like the number 1 religion in Mexico? Right? Am I right? Okay, so it says why there.
It rhymes.
Question. Isn't followers? Yes, okay. Isn't that the number 1 religion in Mexico?
And we've looked at maps of like Hispanic populations in the United States and what has the most, what region has the most. So it makes sense. They keep the culture